Hey guys, and welcome back! Today I'm gonna lead you through the black metal age of Valheim with tips on how to find black metal, barley and flax, how to prepare for the plains and its boss Yagluth, and everything else you need to know about it. Once you defeated Moder in the mountains, she drops dragon tears. These are needed to craft the Artisan Table, which is a new crafting station that allows you to unlock and build the spinning wheel, the windmill and the blast furnace. The Artisan Table is only necessary to unlock and build these new stations, but can't be used to craft anything new. You still craft capes, arrows, weapons and tools at the workbench and the forge. So it kind of works like an extension to the workbench. That also means the 3 new stations have to be placed within the area around the Artisan Table. With the spinning wheel you can process flax into linen thread that you need to craft the padded armor and all black metal weapons. It has a capacity of 40 flax and produces 1 piece of linen thread every 30 seconds. The windmill is needed to convert barley into barley flour that you need to cook better food like blood pudding, fish wraps and lox meat pie. It has to be placed in dirt and in an open unobstructed area, as it only works when wind is blowing. The time that it takes to convert barley into flour also depends on the wind and its speed. So during a storm it can process barley much faster than with a slow wind. The windmill can hold 50 barley and will drop stacks of 20 bags of flour. You should not remove the flour before it gets put out automatically, as this seems to be bugged sometimes and you would only receive 1 bag of flour instead of the actual produced amount. So better be patient and wait until the bags fall out automatically. The 3rd new station you need to build is the blast furnace. It is an upgraded version of the smelter and is necessary to smelt black metal scrap. Note that it cannot be used to process any of the former ores like iron or copper. You will still need the smelter for them. Apart from that, the blast furnace works in the same way the smelter does. There's 2 inputs, one for ore and one for coal, and the metal bars will fall out of it on the front side. A quick note for the crafting stations and also the black metal age in general. Even though the ore you will find in the plains is called black metal, this is not the only metal you need for crafting. You will also need loads of iron, especially for the crafting stations and the armor. So if you haven't mined a lot during the Iron Age already, you will have to get into the swamp again. To build all 3 crafting stations, craft the full padded armor set and the porcupine, and upgrade everything to maximum level, you will need 140 bars of iron. And you definitely need the armor on maximum level, so there's no way to avoid mining the iron. The black metal is only needed to craft the new weapons and the shield, and you don't need that much of it. Black metal is smelted from black metal scrap that you can get by killing Fulings on the plains. Fulings are small goblin-like creatures and live in villages. You can also find them in small groups of 2 or 3 randomly around the plains. They have a very high attack rating and you should at least have 80 armor and a fully upgraded silver shield to parry their attacks. To kill a full village, you need to attack them one by one and they will come out into the open in small groups. This way you can handle them. If you run straight in, they will outnumber you quickly. Also beware of the 2-star Fulings. Definitely lure them away and fight them one at a time, cause they are much stronger than the others. Being hit by one of them at the beginning of your plain journey will result in instant death, even if you are well prepared with good food. But once you defeated some of them successfully, you will receive the first black metal scrap. You can also find it in chests in their villages alongside barley and flax. An additional source for these 2 resources are cultivated areas inside the falling villages. You can simply pick it there. I would recommend to cultivate both at your own farm as well to have easy access to it. Note that barley and flax only grow in the plains, so you need to make an outpost for a farm here. Both plants won't grow in the meadows or in one of the other biomes. From 1 barley or flax plant you receive 2 by picking them, so you always receive twice the amount you planted. Once you processed enough flax into linen thread and enough scrap into black metal, you can craft the padded armor set, the porcupine and black metal weapons like the sword or the knife. Every piece of the armor can be upgraded to level 4, what I would highly recommend to do before even getting near the boss location. The weapon choice is up to you. The black metal sword is a very good choice as well as the porcupine. But for the porcupine you need additional needles. You receive them by killing death ketos in the plains and these creatures really deserve their name. They already spot you when you are still miles away and are small, fast and aggressive. They are also the reason why you should be well prepared with sausages, turnip stew, serpent stew and healing meat before heading to the plains. Cause when they attack you by surprise, it can cause instant death as they easily deal 70 damage with one hit. The best way to deal with them at the beginning is blocking their attack and then hitting them with your weapon. They only have 10 health, so you can kill them easily. Later on your armor will protect you more, but these little things will always be annoying. Another creature that can be found in the plains are lox. Lox are large, woolly reptiles with a lot of health. They have the worst vision and hearing of all creatures in Valheim, so they will only attack you when you're getting really close. They are also not very fast, so you can easily run away from them. The safest way to kill them is from range with a bow. On close range, they deal good damage with bites and stomp attacks, so better stay away from them. Lox drop meat and pelt that you need to craft the Lox Cape and Lox Meat Pie. I highly recommend to craft both. The Lox Cape will not only give you armor, but also frost resistance, so when you are exploring and you have to get through a mountains biome, you are resistant against the freezing effect. With the Linen Cape that you can craft as an alternative, you won't have this ability, so the Lox Cape is kind of an upgraded wolf cape. Just like wolves and boars, lox can also be tamed. To do this, you can either build a stone enclosure around them or keep them in the open. They won't run away. Sneak up to them and throw cloudberries, barley and flax for them to eat and taming will start. Unlike wolves and boars, lox can't be bred yet. So taming them is not useful to have a resource for meat and pelt, you will still have to hunt wild lox for these resources. The Lox Meat Pie should be your preferred food during the Black Metal Age alongside blood pudding, sausages and fish wraps. To craft it, you need cooked lox meat, barley flour and cloudberries. These small yellow berries can be found on bushes all over the plain and can be collected on the go just like raspberries. You don't need many of them, so 2 or 3 stacks should be enough. To craft blood pudding, you need thistles and blood bags that are dropped by leeches in the swamp, so when you go and mine more iron, be sure to kill a lot of leeches as well. Another thing you should prepare before heading to the boss of the plains is the fire-resistant barley wine. The base of the wine is made from barley and cloudberries and has to be fermented just like meat. Once it is consumed, it reduces fire damage by 75% for a time of 10 minutes. Be sure to have 2 or 3 of them in your inventory before trying to defeat Yagluth. And that leads me to the last part of this guide already, how to find and fight Yagluth. And I gotta be honest, finding him is much harder than killing him. I spent more time trying to find his altar or the runestone than I spent collecting resources for the weapons and armor. I only found his altar by accident while sailing along the shoreline, half frustrated and ready to give up. The chance to find one of his runestones is much smaller than for the other bosses. They are pretty rare and you will more likely find his altar than the runestone. His altar looks like stone fingers coming up from the ground trying to grab something. The runestone can be found at stone circles or single groups of stones. If you haven't found both yet and you are getting frustrated, take my advice and use valheim-map.world to find him. Over there you can insert your world seed and it will show you the location of everything you want to know. Once you found him, be sure to prepare yourself well for the fight with good food, fire resistance wine and healing meat. As weapons, I would recommend the Draugr Fang with frost or obsidian arrows for ranged attacks and the Frostner for melee attacks. I know the Frostner deals less damage than the Black Metal Sword or the Porcupine, but with the frost effect you will have the chance to slow him down and attack him in close range even longer. To summon him, you need 5 Fulling totems that you can find in Fulling villages or towers. Once he awakes, he will start to attack you with 3 different abilities. One attack is when his right fist starts to glow blue. He will raise it and slam it down, causing a small circular explosion that deals blunt terrain and fire damage, so better stay away from it. When he raises his left fist, it will start to rain meteors that hit really hard and can cause your death if they hit directly. The third attack is a fire breath that starts after he's looking upwards for a short moment to breathe in. Be sure to stay away from all of these attacks and keep moving or hide behind the large stones of the altar. In between, you can attack him with bow and arrow and the Frostner. Yagluth is moving pretty slow and sometimes even crawls away from the altar, so you have enough time to regain health and stamina if needed. Endurance and patience is the key in this fight. Eventually, you will defeat him and receive the usual trophy and a placeholder item that will reveal its true purpose later on when the game is further developed. The power you can activate once you mounted Yagluth's trophy on your altar grants resistance against fire, frost and lightning damage. And that's it for today. I hope this guide helps you to progress through the Black Metal Age and defeat Yagluth successfully. If it did, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel to stay tuned. Until then, thanks for watching, I am the Catwoman and you are awesome.